Last game of our series against the Midland Rockhounds, and we're joined by Brett Nicholas, who earlier today was named one of the 7 RoughRiders who will compete in the Texas League All-Star Game in Northwest Arkansas. First of all, Brett, congratulations. What does that honor mean to you?
It means a lot. It just for all the hard work and effort that I've put into things and where I've come from the last few years, it just feels really good. But it's only half the year, and we have a lot to get done this year, and we're still trying to catch Corpus and win that first half.
But in terms of an accomplishment for you, it's your first All-Star appearance, and a few pretty good first basemen there have been in this league, so that must make it even more special.
Yeah, it really does. Speaking of Anthony Aliotti right there, he's unbelievable. One of the best pure hitters I've ever seen, and to be able to be on the same team and kind of see how he goes about his business for those 2 days is going to be nice, and try to bounce some ideas off and steal some of his hits.
And it should be good considering that there's a lot of familiar faces going up, not only the 6 other players who are going up, but your entire coaching staff, so you get a chance to get in the game a little bit.
Yeah, I was giving Carlos a hard time, our trainer, because not often does the trainer get named to the All-Star team too, but it's going to be nice. It'll be a lot of fun for those 2 days.
Here with Brett Nicholas, who, in addition to being named an All-Star, also big last couple of days for you with the home run you hit in the comeback victory on Sunday. Walk me through what you're thinking there. And you said after that you're still not sure how that ball went out. Have you figured it out a few days since?
No, I really haven't. It was a lefty-lefty matchup, and they're especially with this team, kind of been struggling on those matchups. And he fell behind 1-0, and I was kind of hoping he was going to try and throw a fastball, and I gave it everything I got, and luckily, I think it hit the back of the fence out there, but it still counts, and it was a huge win with Joe Benson coming up and getting that triple, and Zaneski driving him in. It just such a big win. Corpus ended up losing later that day, and we gained a game on them, so it was a very big day for us.
Can an inning like that and a turning point be something that spurs the team on for a few days, give you that energy? It looks like you certainly had a lot more at the start of last night's game than you did at the start of that game on Sunday.
Yeah, you hope you can take it into the next few days. We did last night. Leon's a very good pitcher, uses both sides of the plate really well, and we were able to jump on him for 3 runs in the first, and you just kind of hope that was from the night before and you can carry it over into today, and hope that we can keep it going and go right into that series versus Corpus, the head-to-head series.
We're here with RoughRiders All-Star first baseman Brett Nicholas. Brett, you've also played a bit of catcher this year. You've played catcher in the past. I think earlier this season you told me you still consider yourself a catcher who plays first base. Is that a position you'd like to play a little bit more over the course of the season?
Yeah, I definitely would. I'm not real flashy back there. I don't have the greatest arm, but my strengths back there are calling a game and making sure that the pace of the game and the control of the game is always in our favor, and that's something I know I can help a big league team out. And whether it's the Rangers or anybody else, obviously more practice is gonna help me. But I still consider myself a catcher who's playing first right now, and maybe like a Mike Napoli someday, if I'm fortunate enough to make the big leagues. But just keep at it and try to get better, and that way if anybody ever does need somebody, I'm prepared and ready to go.
The future implications aside, is it a position you just purely enjoy playing more because you're in it in terms of focus every single pitch?
Yeah, and this will be a little flashback. In high school, I played a middle linebacker and tight end all 4 years for football. And, I just like the contact. I like being in the middle of everything. So what better position in baseball than catcher? Always got contact there. You're part of every single pitch. And, I had a coach once tell me there's a reason that all 8 guys in the field are looking back at where you're sitting. And it's just something I enjoy, and I really thoroughly take a lot of pride in what I do back there.
The difference between what you've done this year statistically and in previous years is immense. What do you credit primarily for maybe the changes that you've made to your game, or is it just another year of maturing and figuring out what kind of player you are?
I think it's another year of maturing. I did real well last year in the Carolina League, and not as many power numbers obviously, but I think just a year of maturing, and I've got to give a lot of credit to the hitting coach Jason Hart. He's been incredible this year, and I'd get in a little funk, and he'd be right there to help me out of it and kind of tell me what he's seeing and give me some advice. And having a guy that had an unbelievable career and made it to the ultimate step that we're all making it to is huge and gives me so much confidence. I don't think I'd be the hitter I am this year without Hardy, helping me along the way.
Now, they're going to ask you to compete in the home run derby, I'm sure, when they look at your numbers. I remember you saying the other day it's not something that you'd be looking forward to. Hardy said that home run derby he participated in Frisco in 2005. First pitch he, I think, swung on and missed. So are you going to seek him for advice potentially there or someone else?
If I end up, it'd be fortunate enough if I end up being in it, but, I'd really appreciate if they'd make it like a doubles derby. I see if I'm sure Aliotti would beat me at that, but see if I can go gap to gap instead of just try to pull it right down the line. But, that's just something you gotta enjoy, and not everybody gets the chance to do something like that. So, it's something you can look back when you're older and really have a lot of joy in.
You're a chatty guy. I don't think I'm out of bounds calling you that. Who do you enjoy chatting with most when you're over at first base and somebody's on in this league?
Right now, it's definitely Aliotti. I mean, he's always over there.
He's over there a lot, yeah.
Yeah, he's always over there. I feel like I'm grabbing his shin guard and taking it back to the first base coach all the time. But I got to say, the most fun I've had all year was the last time we were here. Ricky Henderson was a first base coach. And, if anybody knows Ricky, they know he kind of talked crap his entire career. So we just kind of jawed back and forth all 4 games, and it was a highlight of my career, if nothing else. It was a lot of fun, and he's a great guy. He was helping me out over there, and I'm on the other team, so he was a lot of fun, and that's something I'll remember for a long time.
Brett, always great talking to you. Congratulations on the recent success both this season and in this series, and of course the All-Star selection.
Thank you very much.
That's Brett Nicholas. We're back after this here on the Frisco RoughRiders Baseball Network.